How much are you just looking forward to actually getting it started?
Yeah, we're well. I don't know if we're ready, but we're excited to get started. These kids want to just play games, want to compete, and that's what was so nice about playing TCU. Even though it didn't count, it's a good team, right? Not a team from right around the block. We obviously played them last year, but it was a pretty high-level game and competitive. And now this is all for real, and our kids are chomping at the bit. And whether it's returners or kids that joined us in January or kids that started training 10 days ago, everybody's ready to play a game that matters.
When you have so many new pieces, do you like going on the road for the first one, forcing them to kind of team bond and everything that comes with a road trip?
Yeah, value in it, getting away, getting, hotel room. We can control some things in some ways, right? In terms of what are they doing after dinner, right? What are they doing? We always do our strength coach and athletic trainer, they do a little snack, right, before they go to sleep. We do a morning walk, right? We do morning breakfast, walkthroughs, all the things, right? They're on kind of our time. And so there's a lot of value in that. And then from a bonding standpoint, absolutely, no doubt.
Coach, how do you feel about the team going through training camp, and what did you learn about your team after the first exhibition game?
I think we're a pretty athletic team. I'd like to think that we're a pretty deep team. I think, you never want to have kind of a one-dimensional team, right? I think we scored 5 goals the other night. I think they came from, I don't know whether that was Gilly's goal or, so 5 goals from 5 different players, which is always nice, right? So pretty good on the attacking end. What we learned is that we need to shore some things up from a set piece standpoint, defending set piece standpoint. Gave up a goal on a corner kick that was disappointing, and then gave away a lot of chances. And they're a good team, and they're going to create chances, but moments and situations that were avoidable. So again, it's one thing to play an inner squad and play against yourselves, but it's a whole nother thing playing against another team. And even though it was an exhibition, we wanted to win, they wanted to win. We had a lead. I don't think we were very good in the second half when we had a lead. TCU kept their foot on the gas, and so you learn just a lot of different things in those kinds of situations.
Do you expect to have your full roster at some point this season, with some players playing internationally?
We hope to have our full roster this weekend, and then 100%, worst case, the end of September after the U20 World Cup. But we should have a pretty good group going down to South Florida. We'll lose 1 player to the World Cup after that game, and then we'll lose the U.S. players after the North Florida game on Sunday, and then we'll lose 1 more after the Rice game, and then they'll all be back once their teams are eliminated. And for their sakes, we hope they're playing on the 22nd of September when the final occurs for the U20 World Cup.
You'll be 6 short at one point. Have you spoken to this team? I know you don't carry a ton on your roster, about how it's the sum of all parts for you guys to be successful, and how much does being shorthanded for a bit kind of play into that?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody wants to play, right? Everybody comes here, and especially at the start of the season, everybody has high individual hopes for themselves and expectations and aspirations. And we're kind of almost still in that phase. And we had 1 game, so we had 1 starting lineup, right? Now we're gonna have another starting lineup on Thursday, another one on Sunday, and then we lose 5 players all of a sudden, right? And so even for kids who the dream wasn't alive in game 1 and 2, right, to start, they all know that in that kind of 3 to 4 week segment, they're going to get their opportunity. They're going to get a chance to show us that they can play and help us win at a high level. So it's all, we've touched on it only from a standpoint of it's a long season. We touched on it from a standpoint of 1 year ago at UCF in an exhibition, and then in Texas against A&M and TCU, 6 out of 10 field players were on the field when the game started, who were also on the field when the game started in the national championship. So it's a long run. It's a long season. don't freak out by a lineup here or a lineup there. Everybody's going to have an opportunity. We always try to protect our players, right, from an injury standpoint. We're protecting the ones who are not going to the World Cup. We're protecting the ones who are going to the World Cup, right? So the message is clear and the same all the time. And bottom line is you have a group of kids who are competing to play at all times.
Speaking of injuries, Claire Rain got injured last year around this time. How has she progressed and healed, and what's her status?
Yeah, she had to have a second surgery in maybe mid-September last year, right, just to help her kind of range of motion. And that slowed her down a little bit. It was a big injury, right? But what's been amazing this August, that wasn't the case when we left in May, is she's at practice with us every day, right? She's not in training, but she's on the field, in her cleats, doing running, all right, doing a little bit of agility, changing direction, starting to get on a ball a little bit. So she's starting to see kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. Her prognosis for the fall remains to be seen, but we're going to be pretty darn careful with her, and we're not going to put her at any risk this fall.
When you look at the transfers that have come into the program, how are they acclimating to the system, and just what have you seen so far early on?
Yeah, great. In the starting lineup the other day, I think we had 2 transfers, maybe. Yeah, 2. I could be wrong on that. I think that's the number. 2 transfers and maybe 2 freshmen, if I'm nailing that. Is that right? All right. Great. And one was here in the spring, and Carissa Beckman. And she played the 6 the other night, and first ever time playing the 6 for her, and she did a phenomenal job. The kid is dying for it, right? She's here for only one fall, and she wants to make the most of this fall, and she wants to set herself up for a professional career. She was great. Gianna Riley has only been here for 10 days. Had a great little assist in a layoff, made a great little runs that kind of led to chances, or maybe led to a goal, or a set piece that led to a goal. She did a great job. And then Camille Ash came off the bench and did a good job. All of them. And then, like I said, the freshmen, right? Suarez helped out on a goal and got an assist. Soleil Washington got a goal. Rihanna Hudson, another freshman, got a goal. So I think, honestly, everybody's doing a great job right now, which is making our lives hard in terms of choosing a lineup.
You look at someone like Gianna, you mentioned she comes in 10 days, makes an impact in the first exhibition. Just what excites you about what she can bring to your style of play?
Yeah, she in our inner squad, we just had one inner squad, one real full 11v11 inner squad before TCU. She scored 3 goals in that, so she's really good. Even though she didn't get a goal in that TCU game, she's really good in and around goal with both feet. She can smash the ball like a woman, and with different surfaces, different kinds of finishing. She's going to be good. She's very fast with and without the ball. She's dribbled out of pressure pretty well. She can cross the ball pretty well. Seeing her, we watched a lot of her U20 videos, but now seeing her up close and live, you can see why she's going to the U20 World Cup.
Obviously, last year's squad was great, but have you ever had a squad that has the offensive potential of this one?
Well, we obviously had the last fall's squad in the end, right? We didn't know, right? We didn't know. Nobody knew. I mean, we knew Jordan Dudley was going to be good, but to do what she did last fall was untouchable, right? I think this group's got a lot of potential, right? We obviously have that little, 3-week timeout with Suarez and Riley and Dudley, right? Those are 3 very important people in that attack that you're referencing, and even Dantas from Brazil and Jimenez from Venezuela. So that's 3 weeks of training and games, 4 weeks without those players. So that's a big deal, right? But depending upon when they return, right, we still have a lot of games to be played, a lot of training to be played, and hopefully, and the way our program has worked for years, we don't want to be firing on all cylinders now. It's late October, late November, and beyond.
After such an impressive freshman year, Jordan Dudley in the offseason, what has she improved on? What have you seen her improve on?
Yeah, I think she's just getting more comfortable in her own skin, just kind of as a player in this program, right? And this might sound crazy, but she was an animal, obviously, on the field last year. But she was also always kind of deferring a little bit and waiting for some direction from a Beata Olsen or Leilani Nesbitt or Ekagini or Brown or Huff underneath her. And now I think she's a little bit more comfortable kind of grabbing the the bull by the reins, if that's the right phrase, right? And organizing our press and initiating our press. And that just all comes back to her comfort in her own skin. And it's our job to have players around her that don't allow teams to just totally isolate and focus on her from a defensive standpoint. And so I like to think that we've got a lot of talent around her, that they've got to deal with the whole crew, which I think will help Dudley, obviously.